If you have that voice in your head that says maybe you should quit, that's literally the resistance right before. So don't miss the goal because of all of the resistance that's going to come right before the breakthrough, right before you get through to the atmosphere. That's part of the process, is the self-doubt. And that's the resistance, right? Most people quit at the edge, right? You don't want to be that person. You don't want to quit. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Earn Your Happy podcast. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. And I feel like it is so fitting to share what I'm about to share today for so many reasons. And that is about launching. If you're in a launch, if you're prepping for a launch, if you are even thinking about getting to your next level and breaking through. So whether you're in a launch, whether you are really trying to get out of a plateau that you're in right now, maybe you have been in the same financial situation for the past 2 to maybe 5 years, or even just the last year, or maybe your finances went down and you're like, I just need to get back to even where I was at. This podcast is for you. And the reason why I think it's so timely is, number one, I think we always want to get to the next level. If you're listening to this podcast, like, you are a learner, you are craving big things, you have big dreams. We are, willing to take risks, but we want to get there. We want to blast through. We want to get to the next level. We want to break through the atmosphere. And the next one is, it's just a timely moment in history where we're going to talk about a little pop culture with people breaking through the atmosphere, aka Katy Perry in space. No matter how you feel about it. And also, Chris and I are in full launch mode right now. So we're in launch mode in life, and we're actually in physical launch mode for our program, the Mentor Collective Mastermind. So there's a lot of launching going on in this house right now. And we want to break through our plateaus. We want to get to the next level. We really feel like at this point in time in our lives, we're ready to level up even more, like in the biggest way that we have leveled up yet. We know there is a whole next level that we have not even touched yet. And let me just tell you, Chris and I both are clear that we're here to go to that. Now, this is not for everyone. If you're not in this season, if you're in a season maybe of raising children, of cutting back, of, wanting to slow down, this podcast is not for you in this particular season. Come back when you are in rocket ship mode. And that is not all the time. But right now, for me, for whoever's listening that this feels good, the time is now. So buckle up, put your helmet on, because we're going to go for a little ride here. And I want to talk about what actually happens when you're in launch mode. Because whether you're launching a product or a podcast or a new version of yourself or a new relationship, right? All I can think about is hard launching a relationship right now. It can feel like total chaos. Like you're using every ounce of energy literally just to stay in motion. And it's not a sign that something's wrong. It's not a sign that you're not capable or have the capacity to do it. It means that you're exactly working how this actually works, right? You're working exactly how a rocket ship works. So yes, this is an analogy, but it's creepy how tied to launching to the next level or actually doing a physical product launch or a digital launch that this actually runs parallel to. This is what it looks like to get to your next level. Imagine when they were thinking of going to space and what it actually took for them to not only come up with this idea, but figure out how to bust through the atmosphere while staying alive. Let's talk about that, right? Like, how do we do this while still taking care of ourselves? So number one, the buildup before the launch even happens is some of the most important stuff you'll do. And it's also some of the most underrated and where a lot of people quit because it's the work that people don't applaud you for. So NASA spends years prepping for a launch. They have engineers that test everything, and one glitch in the system and the entire launch is delayed and it starts over. So I want you to think about that. Like literally, when you're going through everything that you're doing, they don't give up. It just literally delays everything and they have to figure it out, but they never ever quit because their eye is on the target, right? Like, we're getting this rocket to space. So never losing sight of that. And think of the team size. You guys, there were over 14,000 people who worked on the Saturn V Apollo mission, and that was one rocket. It was one moment in time and years and years and years of labor from 14,000 different people. So if you feel like you're in constant prep phase forever, it's actually normal. We do want you to launch, but you're in an eternal prep phase. I'm always learning and I'm always prepping and I'm always tweaking. We do want to make sure that you get your launches in there timely though. We don't want to be forever learners. We don't want to be stuck. We don't want to be taking too much time, because I do believe that unlike NASA, unlike launching a rocket, because you really have to get that right, or, it's kind of life or death. Being an entrepreneur and launching a product and launching a digital course and getting to your next level, it's messy. And you're going to get a lot of data by launching early and then figuring it out, right? You're going to be building your systems, you're growing your audience, you're recalibrating your offer. And the thing about, launch season or pre-launch season, there is like no glory in this season. But without it, you're not going to launch, and you're certainly not going to have a good launch. So the part 2 of this is the liftoff. Like when we actually think of the rocket lifting off, when we actually are going into launch mode. I want to use my book launch as an example. Like, writing the book was super challenging. I was already exhausted. But when I went into the marketing phase, like full on, okay, we're launching, you've got, a full 30 to 60 days of full on marketing. Like, you are in launch mode. This is getting to space. You have hit the thrusters. You are in the air. You're breaking through the atmosphere. In liftoff of an actual rocket ship, 90% of the fuel on that rocket is used in the first few minutes. So a rocket needs to reach escape velocity, which is roughly 25,000 miles per hour to break free of Earth's gravitational pull. Oh my God. When you think of this, this is the fastest, this is the most you'll ever be putting out. This is the most you'll be talking. This is the most you'll be on stories. This is the most you'll be in emails. This is the most you'll be creating. This is the most that you're answering messages. This is the most you're out in the world. And that takes a massive burn on you. And 90% of the rocket's fuel is used just getting off the ground. So I want you to think about that. You're like, whoa, I should feel like massive momentum from this. And yes, most likely you're going to, but honestly, just to take a step to the next level, this is what it's going to take. So when people don't understand the work involved in getting to the next level or in a launch, I just want to mentally prepare them to say, why don't we sit and get really excited about launch season? Because this is what it looks like. It's hot, heavy, and sweaty, and we need consistent attitude adjustments, and you need a lot of stuff to take care of yourself along the way. I just did a launch week photo dump, and you guys, I am like waking up early and we're doing posts in the morning. We're doing lives in the evening. We are, I'm waking up early to get my workout in, and then I'm eating as healthy as I possibly can. I'm trying to make sure that I'm slamming, 50 to 100 ounces of water with a ton of Glossy. I'm drinking my isogenic shake like it's literally my job, because it is. Like, if I'm not taking care of myself with those things, workout, movement, prayer, meditation, hydration. Glossy has all of my essential electrolytes and minerals and a probiotic, and isogenics is one of those things that if I didn't have it, I would not be eating. Like, have some food around that you can grab that's not bad for you. Don't drink 10 cups of coffee a day, because it's like pouring fire on top of your anxiety. Like, take care of yourself during launch week and have a healthy launch week plan. So if you feel like you're using everything up right now and you're in the same mode that I am, maybe you're using your energy, your finances, your creativity, that's called a launch. And what people also forget is that during launches, like, it takes money to make money. It's risky business being an entrepreneur. I'm not saying to go throw money at something you don't understand. Go learn the game and then invest in the game so that you can make more money. But make sure that you are learning with people who have done it before. And that still doesn't ensure that you're going to be safe or make more money than you spent on it at all. And I've absolutely had some launches and some things where I've spent more money than I've made. But because of the effort of being out in the world and doing the things, that actually grew my credibility and it grew my audiences to later pay off for me. So let's take my book launch, for example. I did over a 6-figure book launch and I invested all of that and then some back into the book tours and marketing the book. And what ended up happening is I was like, well, dang, I made no money off of this book at all. In fact, like all of these book tours cost a shit ton of money, booking all of these spaces for hundreds of people, anywhere from 200 to 500 people, and traveling and bringing my team with me and all of the footage and all of the things that you're doing and all the places that you're going for the interviews and the desk sides, in New York to talk about your book and try to get magazine articles. And oh my God, it costs so much money to do that I was like, oh my God, was this actually worth it? Yes, the answer is yes, because the lift that we got off of that over the next couple years, hear me out, couple years, really, really established me as an expert. I got booked on so many different big stages, and I was a lot more credible having an actual book out in the world that had been published and being seen on book tour and filling the rooms and all the things like that. So you have to remember that that investment is really, really good, especially if you continue to use it. Like, don't stop marketing your book just because the book tour is over. Don't stop talking about the thing that you've launched or the expert that you've become just because the thing and the moment is over. So just remember that if you're feeling all the things, you're not failing, you're actually lifting off. I'm so excited to share that this podcast is sponsored by The RealReal, the best place to shop authenticated luxury bags, clothing, watches, and so much more. Personally, I love finding unique, elevated pieces that feel like me, and The RealReal is one of my favorite places to discover them. Whether I'm looking for a one-of-a-kind Zimmermann dress or a classic YSL bag, I know I'm getting something super special and I'm getting it at a great value. The RealReal is attainable luxury that upgrades your personal style. With up to 90% off retail, you can finally have the pieces you've been dreaming of from brands like Gucci, Fendi, Prada, and so many others. Unlike other resale sites, everything The RealReal sells is authenticated in person by luxury and fashion experts. The RealReal is the go-to place for your next special piece. Need a dress for a fancy wedding? The perfect vacation sandals? Ready to invest in a new bag to add to your collection? Find exactly what you're looking for that no one else has at The RealReal. The RealReal is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. With thousands of new arrivals daily, no one does resale like The RealReal. And now get $25 off your first purchase when you go to therealreal.com/happy. That's therealreal.com/happy to get your $25 off. Start shopping now at therealreal.com/happy. When I first started Glossy, I was so overwhelmed. I felt like I had to do everything on my own because you do, and your to-do list just keeps mounting. But let me tell you, when you're starting off with something new, it just seems like that list is growing and growing and growing, and it can quickly overrun your life. So you have to start learning to find the right tools that can not only help you out, but simplify everything. And that is a game changer. And let me tell you, for millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify, and I am included in those numbers. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started, and I'm going to add mine to the list, Glossy. Get started with your own design studio. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand's style. And you guys, I love my website so much that's on Shopify. Go and check it out. Also, Shopify is your e-commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Go to shopify.com/happy, shopify.com/happy. So the atmospheric resistance is harder the closer you get to break through. So if we're talking about rockets again, because that's what we're talking about, you're the rocket. They face the most resistance in the Earth's atmosphere because there's wind, there's pressure, there's gravity, and it's super brutal. And if they want to break through, that's where it's going to take the most effort that they possibly can give, right? That's where it's going to take the most gas from that rocket. And that is where, like, it's the hardest point for that rocket to break through. But once they're past that atmosphere, they have a smooth ride. So if you have that voice in your head that says, maybe you should quit, that's literally the resistance right before. So don't miss the goal because of all of the resistance that's going to come right before the breakthrough, right before you get through to the atmosphere. That's part of the process, is the self-doubt. And that's the resistance, right? Most people quit at the edge, right? You don't want to be that person. You don't want to quit. And you have to build that support team. So when you're thinking about, when people are going to go to space, every launch involves a huge team. They have engineers, they have weather experts, they have ground control, they have medical staff. The astronauts have a crew with them before, during, and after launch. And imagine what they have to do at home. I guarantee they have therapists to help them out for when they're up in the air. And, just the thought of the amount of pressure that goes with that and the fear that probably comes with it as well. Like, think of the team that you have to have in order to do that. So for you guys, you need to think, I need mentors, I need masterminds, I need business besties, I need, VAs, I might need to hire people. Like, you don't have to white knuckle your way there by yourself. You really need to share the load, because you don't have to do the whole damn launch yourself. If you think of it in terms of being an astronaut, you're just an astronaut. Like, yeah, you're going to do some cool stuff, but you're not doing all of it. You've got the crew and you've got all of these people who are helping you get there. And that's what you want to start to learn to build out, even if right now it's in trade, even if right now you are doing a lot, but you do have the mental help from your friends, or you are building up that mental stability for yourself. And I want you to remember that once you break through, right? Once you break through, things are going to feel a lot easier, because at this point, you probably have some systems working. You probably have a lot more respect for yourself. You probably feel like you can really bet on yourself. You have a lot more confidence. You have a lot more pride in yourself. You feel like you have a team that supports you. You're really in rhythm. You understood what worked and what didn't work. But you have to earn that. You have to earn the ease of getting to the next level. And you'll feel like you're, burning out a lot of times in launch, but there will be a lot of times as you do this more that you won't. You'll be like, I'm just tired. I'm not burnt out. I'm just tired, because I understand that these are the feelings that come with this. And that is so okay. And don't forget that small adjustments are going to really keep you on track, you guys. So if you're in launch mode right now, just remember that you are in the point where you're using up 90% of your fuel, and most people quit right before they break through, because the resistance is the most right before the breakthrough. And so as I'm in launch for the rest of the week, we have a 10-day launch. I'm literally reminding myself that it's sweaty. It's hard work. I'm not going to give up. And until I get the results I want, I'm not going to quit doing more and more and more actions to get the message out there. Like, you have to let go of any ego. You have to let go of any fear. You have to let go of thinking you're going to annoy people. And whether this is a launch of a product or whether this is a launch to your next level, like, you guys, it's changing out there. The environment is changing. You have to do different things. You have to learn new skills. You can't be left behind. You need to be learning from AI daily. Like, I don't want you guys to be left behind. You have to be figuring out where the world is going. And I want to make sure that your business is truly future-proofed, because things are changing fast. And I don't mean that you're going to be in launch all the time, but I do believe that a few of these launches are very required to make sure that you are staying on target for where you want to go in your life. So you guys, I'm sending you so much love. If you hear this before the Mentor Collective Mastermind closes, if you're listening this week, we probably have about 4 to 5 days left in the launch, which I'm so excited about. you can go to loriharder.com/mentor to go and check that out, or you can just shoot me a DM if you have any questions at all. But I would love to work with you. I would love to make sure that your business is going in the direction that feels really good, but also getting you to your next level. So you guys, until next time, earn your happy. Bye everyone.